What's up everyone? Welcome back to Rock Fragrances. My name is Mike. Let's get started. So today I'm going to talk to you about why I will never purchase Creed's Millesime Imperial again. And that is because I discovered this. Club de Nuit Milestone from Armaf. So before we get into it, I do want to just give you a quick story about my journey with Creed's Millesime Imperial. This was actually the first serious niche fragrance that I purchased. So it's probably back in 2012. I had just moved out to California, and of course, you move out to California, you got to get a new wardrobe. You got to be smelling good with these fragrances. And I went into Neiman Marcus, and I was actually testing a number of Creed fragrances, and the woman behind the counter, and this was probably a year and a half or so after Aventus had come out. So of course the lady behind the counter was like, hey, you've got to try Creed's Aventus. And interestingly enough, I actually liked this more. Now, little did I know back then what Creed was, what Aventus would turn out to be, but just nose for nose, I actually decided to go with the Millesime Imperial. Of course, I would have loved to have picked up one of those original batches of Aventus. Who would have known? And maybe I should have just bought both, but didn't quite have it like that back in the day. And over time, Millesime Imperial became by far one of my favorite fragrances. I still have a bottle to this day. I've gone through a few of these bottles. I actually think pound for pound, it's one of the best summer fragrances out there because you still get some of that maturity, you still get some of that musk, but those aquatics and the salty note. I mean, I just think this is perfect for a gentleman's summer fragrance. Now, we've talked about Creed a bunch on this channel, and you really can't go anywhere in the fragrance community without hearing about Creed, and how over time, perhaps their formulas have been a little bit watered down. Perhaps they're not using as quite high quality ingredients as they used to. And that's really opened up a lane for, some of these companies, Armaf in particular, to, take those formulas and, bottle them for themselves, or at least something that really closely resembles the original fragrances. Club de Nuit Intense Man being the most popular, the Parfum limited edition of Club de Nuit Intense Man being my favorite, Creed Aventus clone out there. But my number one clone of all time has to be the Milestone by Club Nuit line by Armaf. And the reason is I actually think this is closer to Millesime Imperial than Club de Nuit Intense Man is to Aventus. And I actually think that when I sniff the Milestone, and why don't we do that? Because I think that's everyone's favorite part. Nice sprayer here. It actually gives me some of the notes that I think Millesime Imperial used to have and should have, and that it doesn't anymore. And for those of you who've never had your nose on Millesime Imperial or Milestone, it gives you this nice sea salty, aquatic, but clean, musky scent. So how I would describe it as really sort of a mature summer scent. It's not a blue fragrance. It's not overly fresh and citrusy. It's not sweet whatsoever. It just gives you this nice, airy, refined type of scent. The addition, I think, or at least perhaps what Millesime Imperial used to have that Milestone does now, is it actually gives you a bit of a salty, sour melon type note up top, which I think is really, really good for the summer months. And then heck, I wear this in the winter as well. But that salty, sour, salty melon accord up top, I think has been sort of lost in Millesime Imperial over time, which is why I really like Milestone, and I think it actually turns it into a bit better fragrance. So if I have the choice now of spending $40 on something like Milestone, or gosh, who knows, $300, $400, $500 on Millesime Imperial, and because this is so close from a DNA, from a clone perspective, I actually really don't see much reason why I would ever spend $300 to buy Millesime Imperial again, which is why, again, this is my favorite clone out there, and certainly my favorite Creed clone, and I think it's even better from a clone one-to-one perspective than Club de Nuit Intense Man is. Again, when you would wear this one, I think this is a perfect summer fragrance, warmer weather, but really versatile. I think you can wear this one pretty much all year round. You'll get that nice refined, gentlemanly scent, that salty, bit aquatic, but really nice musky dry down to this one. So I'd say from an age range standpoint, certainly anyone can wear this, but if you're 30 plus and you're thinking to yourself, well, I like something that isn't too much of a challenge. It's got a bit of a lighter feel, but I also want it to smell like I'm wearing a serious fragrance. Then I certainly think that Club de Nuit Milestone is something that you should look into picking up. And then certainly, probably remiss if I didn't mention just how cool this bottle is. I mean, a bit of a fingerprint magnet, of course, but really nice gold shine. This one here is 105 milliliters, so a little bit bigger than than your average fragrance, right? Which I know everybody likes, getting a little bit more value for money. So, for me, again, probably never gonna buy Creed's Millesime Imperial again. If I run through this bottle, I'll probably just end up picking up a bottle of this. And that's really Creed's loss. I mean, that's where you run into trouble when you are more focused on the bottom line, and you other brands and other people end up catching up to you. A bit of a trapping of success, I would say, but at the end of the day, if your brand loses a bit of prestige, no one's just going to go out and buy your bottle just because it says Creed on it. I mean, there's a number of other fragrance houses that I think are gaining in popularity, a number of indie fragrance houses where, yeah, having a Creed is nice and being able to say you wear Creed is certainly nice. But again, out in the world, no one's going to know the difference between this and Millesime Imperial. They're just going to like the scent. And, if you want to allocate your money to other things, whether it's fragrances or otherwise, but you still know you're getting a really high quality product from Armaf, which I think do a really nice job, i.e. they last a long time. Not only is the scent profile on point, but it lasts a really long time. And again, out in the world, no one is really going to know. I mean, absolutely no one is going to know. I can pretty confidently say nobody is going to know that you're wearing this instead of Millesime Imperial. So value for money all day long on this. The scent, almost 1 for 1. My favorite clone. This is a 9.5 out of 10 for me. So really do think this is the best clone in my collection. So really appreciate you watching this video. If you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care and thank you.